team and help spread the word about how important a good nutritional supplement program can be. Get your products at the wholesale price if you so desire, and write off all your business expenses, home office, mileage, etc. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Brightside Ben team. They can tell you all about it. You can also sign up right off the website, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or now criticalhealthnews.com. Okay, got a couple lines open at 844-236-6010. We're talking acne. You got to understand the opening on the surface of the skin called a pore, and then the cavity that the opening is the top of. You got a little cavity called the follicle. That's where hair is made. And then the opening, the top of that follicle, is called a pore. Acne, like all health issues, like all chronic diseases, is a disease of inflammation. This is what disease is about, inflammation. These days you're hearing doctors and drug companies via commercials talking about inflammation. Congratulations, but inflammation is not a big deal. Inflammation is the way a defensive response shows up. That's the problem. It's a defensive response. Inflammation is immunity. Immunity is defense. And defense, meaning some kind of burden is getting into the system, some kind of stress is getting into the system. This is clearly indicated by the word dis-ease. Dis-ease, lack of ease, or excessive stress. Excessive stress equals a lack of ease. And I'm talking here physical. I'm not talking psychological or mental stresses. Obviously, they're important. But here I'm talking about physical stress, physical burden. Something is taking its toll on the body, specifically on the fundamental component of the body, the cell. All disease is cell disease. All disease is cell disease. That's the mantra. That should be the mantra for the healing profession. All disease is cell disease. It's not because your doctor can't help you at the level of a cell. This is God's realm. This is the divine forces realm. Through nutrition and through the decisions that we make, we control the effects on the cell, not the doctor. The doctor can only poison the cell or remove the cell through surgery or radiate the cell. That's all a doctor can do. Poison, radiate, or remove the cell. He cannot help the cell, period. No drugs can do it. This is the dirty little secret of medicine. Medicine is helpless at the level of a cell. It doesn't matter because we can do it. This is so empowering. This frees us from the tyranny of the medical model, the idea that we can take care of our own cells. But to understand how to take care of the cell, you got to understand what the burdens on the cell are. There's not a lot. There's only three: starvation, suffocation, and toxification. This leads to the defensive response. Starvation, meaning a lack of nutrients; suffocation, meaning a lack of oxygen; and toxicity, meaning all the crap we put into our system, chief among which is sugar. Yes, sugar is a toxin. After a small amount, which is required for the brain, the rest of it has to be detoxified, stored, and processed. And doctors can't help you. The doctor is ignorant of this fact. He does not know. No doctors will, unless they're listening to this program, and some are. They do not know that they're helpless at the level of a cell. They've never thought of that. Poisoning, radiation, surgery, instead of acknowledging its utter failure in reversing degenerative disease and acknowledging its ignorance, the medical model has the arrogance, has the nerve to marginalize what I'm talking about here, to marginalize these ideas as quackery, as non-scientific. But it doesn't matter. We could do it ourselves. We just need ease. We got to figure out how to create an environment of ease for the cell. And fortunately, from a physical perspective, it doesn't take much. Deep breathing, making sure you're oxygenating, eliminating toxicity, and getting yourself on the mighty 90 essential nutrients. There's not a drug in the world that can restore the ease to the body as effectively, without cost, without side effects, without any of the other unpleasantries that's associated with medical intervention, as simply and as effectively as just plain old elimination of toxicity, breathing in the mighty 90. And folks, that is good news. That is great news, especially if you're dealing with a health challenge, including acne. So all disease is cell disease. This includes the disease, dis-ease, called acne. To effectively address acne, to reverse it, which is easy to do. Easy to do. I've seen it hundreds, if not thousands of times over the last 32 years. Acne can completely disappear. But we got to understand the mechanism, how a pimple develops, and it all comes down to those little openings on the surface of the skin, the pores, which is the top of the follicle, the organ for making hair. So you got a cavity in the skin, that's called a follicle, just a little indentation in the skin, lots of them actually, but focusing in on one, little indentation, that little indentation is called a follicle. It's where a hair is made. And then the top of the follicle, the opening, is called a pore. The skin is covered with these hair-making structures. Each one of them, by the way, has a little oil pump. How do you like that? Each one of these little cavities has its own little oil pump. It's called a sebaceous gland or sebum-making gland. Just call it an oil pump. So this follicle is actually a three-part system. It's got a little hair, it's got a little gland, and it's got an opening on the top. This is so cool. Can you imagine how tiny this thing is? Can't see it, it's invisible. You literally have a little oil pump that's microscopically small. You've got a little hair-making structure, and then the top is covered with a pore, and this is the birthplace of a pimple. And in order to understand how to take care of pimples, you've got to understand the nature of the pore in the follicle and this little hair. This is, by the way, where ingrown hairs come from. Same idea. Why? Well, when you have acne, you got cells that are overgrowing inside this pore and follicle structure. That's the beginning of acne. If you have a hair that's trying to pop out, it'll be an ingrown hair. Once you get this pore, the cells of the pore and the follicle overgrowing, that's where the acne pimple develops. Remember, how cells grow is controlled by inflammation, which in turn is a result of starvation, suffocation, and toxification, which tells you by controlling your diet, by making sure you've got enough oxygen, enough of the mighty 90 essential nutrients, eliminating toxicity, cells will not overgrow, pimples will not appear. There's a lot of key nutrients when it comes to the world of nutrition for dealing with acne. I'll just tell you one. We've talked about it before, and that's vitamin A. Vitamin A is a normalizing vitamin. It is a must-have for all. It's a must-have, period. It's one of the mighty 90 essential nutrients. But if you have acne, you absolutely want to make sure you're using vitamin A. Not by itself. Never want to take one vitamin by itself. They exist as a team. Last program, we talked about vitamin D working with vitamin A. Indeed, it does. And there's also minerals that work with vitamin A. We'll continue this tomorrow. Just want to get this out of the way. Vitamin A for acne, 20,000 international units a day. 20,000, you can even take more, 30,000 a day. Don't want to take too much, and you don't want to take it without the rest of the mighty 90. Not that there's any toxicity unless you take ridiculous amounts. Dr. Atkins, Robert Atkins, in the book The Vitamin Nutrient Solution, talks about using 100,000 international units a day for acne. Anyway, we'll continue this tomorrow. We'll talk about the formation of pimples and some topical strategies as well as internal strategies you can do to make your acne disappear forever. And that'll be tomorrow on the bright side. Time to hit our phones. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Jacob in Texas. What's up, Jacob? Welcome to the bright side.
Hey, Ben. Just want to say I appreciate all the work you're doing.
Thank you.
You always put it in terms that any layperson like myself can understand. I
appreciate that. Thank you so much. What's going on? How can we help you? Oh, there's the music. Give me what's your question, real quick, and then we'll get to it.
I just wanted to know some strategies for supporting my knees, my joints.
Your joints or your knees or your knee? You say your niece's joints or your knee joint?
My knees.
Your knee. Hang tight. We'll tell you all about that knee. Knee's a really tricky joint. Did you have knee surgery by any chance, Jacob?
I have not.
Okay. Hang tight. We'll get to you when we come back. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll be back after this.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
The human body is extraordinary. Despite all the stresses we inflict upon it, it still works hard to stay in balance. Thousands upon thousands of people rely upon Heart and Body Extract to help their body stay balanced. This excellent 100% natural herbal formula helps maintain healthy blood pressure levels, cleans arteries, promotes good circulation, balances cholesterol, and more. HB Extract, paired with healthy lifestyle choices like good nutrition and exercise, can give you a life free of pain, sickness, and fear. Recapture your youthful vitality and experience your body healing itself with the aid of HB Extract. It's extremely effective and it starts working in just days. Visit hbextract.com to learn more and to read scores of testimonials from satisfied customers. And we've never increased our price in over 10 years. That makes Heart and Body Extract as great a value now as it was the first day we sold it. A healthy heart is a happy heart. Call 866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Did you know that drinking pure, high alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
By now, you may have heard a bit about Bitcoins, but did you know Bitcoins are now over an $8.5 billion market? And did you know that over 65,000 businesses now accept Bitcoins? Listen, if you're already earning Bitcoins or trying to make money in the Bitcoin market, you've got to know bidbit.co. Why? Because bidbit.co is where you can easily receive Bitcoins by selling and auctioning off your own personal items or promote business products and services for Bitcoins. You heard right. Whether personal or business, you can now buy, sell, and auction your products and services quickly, easily, and securely for Bitcoin at bidbit.co, the first and only marketplace website to offer BidBit Escrow, a proprietary technology which gives buyers and sellers security and peace of mind because all transactions are protected. Start today. It's free to join, free to post, free to auction, and free to bid at bidbit.co. Buy, sell, bid, or auction everything Bitcoin. That's www.bidbit.co, bidbit.co.
Great minds think alike. The network for the independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
Okay, we are back on the bright side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Talking to Jacob in Texas about the knee. That's a tricky little joint. Are you an athlete or runner or anything like that?
Yeah, I like to work out just about every day except for on weekends when I try and take a break. But I know for sure that I don't breathe enough.
Okay.
Just on my relaxing time, but I do take the Healthy Start Pack every day.
Glucogel caps? Are you using the glucogel caps?
I'm not using the glucogel caps. That was going to be
you want to throw those in. Definitely want to throw those in. How old are you, Jacob?
I'm 27.
Okay, yeah, you're young, but you're putting a lot of stress on the knee joint. Here's the deal: 27 is a very interesting age. Hang on just a sec, Jacob. 27 is an interesting age because you're right at the cusp of, believe it or not, becoming an adult. You're not an adult, really, at least from a biological, even from a psychological perspective, till around age 28 or so. And that's when I call it hitting the wall. That's where you could get away with a lot of stuff before you hit 28. And anybody who's 28 or older will tell you this. Right around the age of 28 or so, you hit the wall, and things you used to be able to do, you can't do as much. So you're probably starting to feel this. You're probably starting to get to the beginning of where you're about to hit that wall. So it's very important that you recognize that you're going to have to start changing how you operate a little bit. You may need to take more days off. It's probably not a good idea to work out every day, because the recovery stage is when the muscles build. So